Well, hello YouTubers, this is JustGene83 with Reloading from the Hot Pot. I was doing some reloading for an upcoming match, and I was noticing that some of my brass was not depriming correctly and got a little hard on the press to pull the lever. So I would pull that piece out and set it to the side, and so I kept on going, and then I started looking at it a little more, and I actually stopped and pulled out my L2D combat barrel out of my G17 polymer 80 build, and I started dropping the brass into it and noticing that it's all going, some's going plunk, some soft. Well, the batch of brass that I'm doing right now was from a training session with me and a friend of mine, and he's shooting a Glock 19, which is his service pistol. All stock barrel, stock trigger. It's got quite a few rounds through it, being a service pistol, but it's still a very good shooting pistol. Well, I found the same thing that I found with my Glock 20 10mm. Which I don't have the brass anymore. I got really furious and threw it out. The Glock barrels have an unsupported chamber. Now for reloaders, this does become an issue. For people that shoot factory brass all the time and don't reload, this isn't for you. This video isn't for you. So I'm not a Glock hater. I did own one. I did trade it back in because it was ruining my brass, and I plan on getting a different one now. But what I noticed is these two pieces of brass were shot out of my Canik TP9 SF. These two pieces of brass were shot out of a Glock 19 stock that has an unsupported chamber in the barrel. This has a supported chamber in the barrel. This brass was brand new Blazer brass that he brought with him. I was shooting my reloads. These are reloads, and these two pieces of brass may have been through 2 times to 10 times, just depending on where they ended up in the rotation. But keeping his separate and keeping mine separate, his is harder to break free and reload, because if you notice, this brass plunks right down. This piece plunks right down, goes right in chambers, no problem. But this brass is soft, and it doesn't quite go down all the way. Now this is only once fired, brand new factory brass. You see there's still a little ledge there. Now what's going to happen over time with this is this brass is going to get expanded and expanded. And what's going to happen is in order for it to cycle correctly through a different firearm that does have a supported chamber, you're going to have to use a bulge buster to reshape the brass. Now when I was doing this with my 10mm, I could only bulge bust it twice before it would start splitting the sides of the brass out, and I was having to throw it away. And if you reload, 10mm brass is expensive to buy new. Well, you can go through the annealing processes, and you can lube, and you can use bulge buster, but still reloading brass from a unsupported chambered firearm, which there are several brands that do this, is going to be detrimental to your reloading. I would not suggest this. Anything that is fired out of an unsupported chamber, I would not bother even reloading or going through the process and the time, as common as 9mm ammunition is. And as many 9mm handguns are out there that have good rifled supported chambered barrels. I purchased this L2D Combat threaded barrel. I have not got to shoot it yet. I'm still waiting on another piece to come in to complete my Polymer 80 build, which I'll do a video on as soon as it is done. But I'm very leery about, you know, picking brass up and checking it just to be safe. You know, this is to be safe. You know, I don't want anything going off in the chamber in my hand and blowing apart my handguns, hurting myself, and I don't want to see anybody else out there hurt themselves in the reloading process because they haven't checked their brass for overexpansion due to unsupported chambers and barrels. So this little bulge buster kit I got from Lee, very good, reshapes the brass just fine. 9mm brass seems to be a little more forgiving than 10mm brass is, which is why I say 10mm is finicky to reload, especially if you're shooting it from an unsupported chambered barrel. I just wanted to make this short little video and just give a warning out there to the reloaders to watch your brass. Be careful. Safety, number one. You know, when I'm casting my bullets, I wear a full-on mechanic's apron, I wear gloves, I wear safety glasses, I have good exhaust and good air ventilation. When I'm reloading, I really pay attention to how the press feels as each pull is coming down and how each one is ejecting. I check very periodically on what's going on with the reloading. You know, I make some pretty nice bullets. They've got a really good BHN hardness. I can do a plus P load with them and have no problems. But the brass is the point here. So let's all be safe. Let's all be leery. A little leery never hurts. A little leery can create caution, and caution produces safety, and safety in this is utmost important. So thank you very much for tuning into this short little video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Please hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more videos. I will be changing the formatting of my shooting videos. I'm new at this. I'm getting down to it. I'm starting to figure out my groove, or the way I want to be presented and present myself and to present the products and the processes that I'm discussing in these videos. If you have any suggestions, ideas, please leave them in the comment section. And I hope you all have a blessed day. This is Just Gene 83 with Reloading from the Hot Pot.